Hello, hello, hello! How are you guys doing this evening? It is a balmy 61 degrees in Indianapolis. It has been an absolutely beautiful day all day today. It was in the upper 70s today. It didn't even feel like late fall, early winter. It felt like late summer. It was so nice. And could have gone to the pool if the pool was open, but it wasn't, and I didn't. I have had such a fantastic day today. I got up, I slept in after, oh, that's my good Judy Valerie. She's just gonna have to wait. Sorry, Valerie, I love you, but you're gonna have to wait. Maybe when I get to the half an hour mark, I'll stop it and call her back. But anyway, since I just started, she'll have to wait just a little bit. I love you, Valerini. Carol Burnett, did she used to do that with her ear at the end? I think she did. Anyway, last night I listened to book 5 of the Jana DeLeon series, Gator Bait. It's really good. Of course, I love that series. And I found her on Twitter. There's actually, if you read the books, so like Gertie and Ida Bell that are in the book, the two older ladies, they're part of this group called the Sinful Ladies Society, and she actually has like a Sinful Ladies Society that you can join and stuff, which is very cool. But anyway, what was I gonna say? I don't even know. Oh, I just got that on my tooth. So I slept in today in our wonderful new bed and that has all the very comfortable bedding on it. Boo and Tucker were so sweet when I came into bed last night. And I slept in, and then we went to brunch. Had a wonderful brunch today. I had, what did I have? I had the California Dreamer. They brought it with egg whites today instead of just regular, without egg, with just regular eggs, which was fine. It just was a little bit watery. And then I had potatoes, and I had, oh, the cinnamon toast was so good. And it was caramel coffee, which she said caramel. I started laughing because everybody, whenever I say caramel, people are always like, you mean caramel? And then after that, I talked to Mel for a little bit on the phone because we had our book club today. And then I did a review of the caramel brulee iced latte from Starbucks and did that review today. And then I went home and I did, what do you call it? I did talk to some other people on the phone. And then I did, what do you call it? Shoot, the True Crime Book Club. So, had a great book club today, and we talked about Sal Polisi's The Sinatra Club. There weren't tons of people in the live stream today, which is fine. It's always just, it's almost kind of nicer when there's not tons of people in there. Karen came in and guested. Nikki came in and guested, and then Sue came in and guested. She was new. This was her first live stream. That was really fun. And of course, Mel and I were there. And Mel kind of took the lead today because this was like her choice of book. We're going to kind of go back and forth between like who leads the live streams. And so anyway, it was really, really fun. We were on there for like an hour and a half. They kind of seemed to like have gotten longer and longer. And then I got off of the live stream and I was getting ready to do a drama video and a Peterisms video. Oh, I also talked to, have you guys watched Emily Baker, the attorney that reads like the stuff online? I talked to her on the phone. She's so sweet, you guys. She's really, really nice, and she's so excited about her channel. And anyway, I didn't talk to her for very long. Probably talked to her for 10 or 15 minutes, but she was really, really nice. And so I was telling her that she should do some true crime cases too. Like, it would be interesting to see her read like the court documents from like the Chris Watts case and things like that, to see like a lawyer's opinion about like how the court case went. I think that would be really interesting too. So anyway, but she's been doing YouTube videos for a long time, like 5 years. But anyway, she has a podcast too. So if you haven't checked her out, check out Emily Baker, Emily D. Baker on YouTube. let's see. Oh, but I was gonna go film these videos, and I was sitting outside because Alex was watching TV, and I was like relaxing for a second. And I was like watching some YouTube videos and stuff, and one of my neighbors walked by that I know like really well. And so I stood out there and I talked to her for like 40 minutes, half an hour, 40 minutes. It was just like one of those nights. I love those nights to just like stand outside and talk to your neighbor. It was like a neighbor that lives like far, like at the entrance of our neighborhood. So I hadn't seen her in a while, and we were just like catching up and stuff. And we have some like work people in common that we know, and so that she used to work for, and like, so anyway, and that I used to know, and so we were just kind of catching up and talking and stuff, and she's retired now, and she's awesome. So anyway, I was asking her, I said, like, are you bored now that you're retired? She's like, you know, people always say you got to make a list of all the things you want to do, and you know that you'll get like really easily bored. She's like, I haven't been bored at all. She's like, every day I just kind of wake up and I think to myself, like, what am I going to do today? And she was like, and before long, you know, a friend will call and be like, do you want to go to lunch or do you want to go to dinner? And she's like, then I kind of plan my day around that. She's like, I haven't been bored at all. I was like, I wouldn't be bored at all, you know? I would listen to audiobooks and I don't know, just all kinds of stuff, but she's so happy. I'm so happy for her. So anyway, then I came inside and I made a drama video and I did a Peterisms video, and yeah, and then that's that. So, and then I was uploading those videos, and Alex ordered some snacks from Fresh Time that, like, I guess Amazon was delivering. Somebody was, he said Amazon was delivering it, but he ordered it from Fresh Time. And he got like waffle fries and marinara sauce to dip his waffle fries in it, because that's what he loves to do. And then what else did he get? He got a couple other things, like healthier snacks, so, because he just wants to kind of like sit and watch TV shows tonight, because he's got a bunch of shows to catch up on. And I got an egg salad sandwich with avocado on whole wheat, toasted whole wheat, plus fries, or not fries, plus chips at home, like kettle chips. So I'm gonna eat that when I go home. I was hoping to watch the season finale of Drag Showdown. If you guys don't know what Drag Showdown is, it's like this underground drag race, like RuPaul's Drag Race, but it's on YouTube. And Crystal Ball Diva, who runs it, is a friend of mine. I shouted them out like in a video like a couple years ago, and so she texted me a couple days ago because they're doing like an all-star season, and so she texted me like the previews of all the people. Oh, the all-star season's gonna be good. She texted me like a preview of like all the people that are gonna be on the show, and so, or she like texted it to me, and so I watched it did I do that last night or the night before? I watched like all of them. They're only like 2 minutes each person, just talking about being on there. So I said to her, I said, is there no finale? Because we have like the finale episode left of the season that we're on right, or that she's on right now. And she's like, no, it's coming. I'm exporting it. It'll be up. And so anyway, and then I was asking her about the finale. I said, do you put the finale on Patreon? Because, or I've never seen like the reunion. And she goes, no, the reunion will be in there. And she was like, you'll love it. And so I'm really excited about that. But I looked and it's not up yet. And I thought it would be up since she was exporting it, but it's not up yet. But anyway, she works so hard on that. Anyway, and it's gotten better and better each season. And she was kind of like the first one that really did it, which is really cool. Like, there's a lot of like drag races now, but they don't like all of them like kind of like stay forever. Like, they'll do a couple episodes and then it just kind of like fades away and like into non-existence. Like, it just doesn't. And I always watch them and then I'm like, what happened? We don't get to find out like who won or what happened, you know? So anyway, I was gonna watch that tonight, but I don't know what I'm gonna watch. I've got a bunch of shows I want to start, but like I'm just like so not like wanting to start shows. Oh, I just watched The Grinch Who Stole Christmas, the cartoon, because I'm trying to watch like a Christmas movie every day or a Christmas show every day, and there's tons and tons on cable. There's tons of free Christmas shows. Like every movie, well, there's some movies. Okay, what's the John Denver movie where he goes to the Colorado town and he and his daughter go up there? She was in Smoky Mountain Christmas too, the girl that plays his daughter in the show. A Christmas, what's it called? Shoot. can't remember. But the cover of it is, well, I have it on VHS, and it's a green box, and then it has like the Christmas Present, I think is what it's called, and he owns like he's like somebody that's part of like this construction company, and he goes to this small like idyllic town where they still believe in Santa Claus and like mailing your Santa Claus letter and all this kind of stuff, and they're going to turn it into like this condo development. And so he goes there with his daughter, and he's trying to like supposedly convince these people that it's like where to go, and like the owner of the company like really wants this place. But anyway, after he's there for a while, he like falls in love with like Christmas and stuff and like the town, and he's real bitter. And I think it's because like his wife died or something like that. That's on there. And then the other one, that is really a good one though. And then it's real cute. They go to this like little town dance and everything, and he falls in love, of course, with like the lady that runs the post office, or I think she runs the post office. No, I think she runs maybe like the restaurant or something. But anyway, the post office is like in the restaurant. It's one of those towns that I would love to live in at Christmas time. I don't think those towns exist anymore. But then the other one, The Night They Saved Christmas with Jacqueline Smith. Oh, I love that movie so much, where they go to the North Pole, she and her 3 kids. And the one kid in that is also in It Came Upon a Midnight Clear with Mickey Rooney, which is like one of my all-time favorite Christmas movies. But anyway, there's like, I mean to tell you, there's probably like 100 Christmas movies that are free on cable. And I was like, oh my God, like I'm gonna be watching a Christmas movie every single day. And I'm like obsessed with all of these. I was like singing the songs while I was like, I'm like uploading my video about Jeffree Star, and I was like, la hoo darling, la hoo darling, da 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 da, because I'm in such a Christmas mood. But anyway, it did seem kind of weird watching it while it was like 70s outside and everybody has pumpkins on their doorstep, though. I will say that did seem kind of weird. So, but anyway, Christmas is coming. The goose is getting fat. Isn't that what the song goes? Christmas is coming. The goose is getting fat. Hey, please put a penny in the old man hat. So anyway, I don't know what else to talk about. I think that's about it. Alex came home from brunch, and he went upstairs because I had the live stream. He's like, he was going to go do something with a friend of his, but then she was like just getting up from a 2-hour nap, or she was taking a 2-hour nap or something. So he's like, I don't really feel like it. I think I'm just going to rest in bed. And he said he was going to watch TV shows, but every once in a while I would hear him like looking at something on his phone while I was on my live stream. But I think he fell asleep at one point. Our bed is so comfortable. Oh my God. And Boo Radley, it was so funny last night because we took a nap, me and Boo Radley together. And the pillows are piled so high, and Boo Radley kind of doesn't really know what to do with it because he climbs on like Alex's. So when I take a nap with Boo Radley in the evenings, like I'll sleep on my side, and then like Boo Radley gets on Alex's pillows. Well, Alex has 3 pillows, and then like one of them he sleeps on 2 pillows and puts one of them away. We both sleep on 2 pillows. So he'll put one of them away, like on the couch, but like I'll leave them up there, and so one pillow is like against the bed, and like 2 are like, so it makes a little bed. And Boo Radley kind of, he kind of like, what do you call it? Like slinks or sinks is the word, slinks. Sinks into, what do you call it? The crack of the pillow. He's so sweet. He's like this. So last night he didn't know what to do, and like his whole body like fell into the soft pillows, and then he had his head like up like this on like the big pillow, and he kind of kept on moving like he didn't know what to do. And then I looked over, and he was like so fast dead asleep. He's so sweet. Sweet. Oh, those 2 little babies are so sweet. Little dogs can change your life, can't they? I love them so much. Christmas is coming. So anyway, that's that. And that was it. That was our day. It was a fantastic day, wonderful day. I'm loving reading my book, my That's why, so I'm vlogging early. Did I tell you? It's 9:04 right now. Because I want to listen to my audiobook later. I want to relax and watch, or eat my egg salad sandwich and watch something. And then I want to listen to my Janet DeLeon book. So I'm vlogging early tonight. Tomorrow, if you, I don't know, this camera keeps on falling down. If you follow my Peterisms channel and you watch that, did it again, started talking about a friend of mine that I shouldn't be talking about, because it's their personal story. But anyway, talking about the book Magic by Rhonda Byrne, who is the one that she wrote The Secret, and also The Power, and she's written a couple books. But anyway, the book Magic that she wrote is like a practice of gratitude over 30 days. And I did it a couple years ago, and when I did it, Alex was like, this is like the most positive, the happiest I've ever seen you in your life, which is really a testament to the book, honestly, because the book is about practicing gratitude every day for 30 days. I think it's 30 days, 28 days maybe. No, I think it's 30 days. Because Melody Beatty did one, and it was like 40 days. It was like 40 days and 40 nights or something like that. It was like a gratitude book, but, and I read that one too, but I didn't do that one. This one is so fantastic and really makes you look at gratitude in a completely different way than you've probably ever looked at it before. At least at that time, it made me look at gratitude in a completely different way than I'd ever looked at it before. So I had mentioned it on my Peterisms channel that I was going to start doing it, and all these people were like, I'm going to buy it and do it too. I'm going to buy it and do it too. So I was going to start it this week, but I wanted to give people a chance to buy it. So I said, well, we'll start it on Monday. So now everybody should have their books, the ones that ordered it, and we're going to start it tomorrow. So if you're doing it with us, read up to day 1, and then we're going to do day 1 tomorrow. Or you can just read all of it tomorrow, all up to day 1 and then day 1. I'm really excited about it. I don't really remember, in all honesty, like, what it changed in me during that time, as far as making me, like, I mean, obviously if you're practicing gratitude on a daily basis, you're going to feel more grateful, right, for the things that you have. But, like, it's interesting that just the action of gratitude really made me so happy and positive. And I think what it really did was it kind of, like, at that time, and it lasted for a long time, like, I mean, that was a big part of, like, when I talk about, you know, that I was rather negative and pessimistic always, and that one year for Christmas, I asked Alex, like, what do you want for Christmas? And he said, next year, all I want is for you to, like, wake up every day with a smile on your face and be happy. That book had a lot to do with me, like, changing over the course of that next year, because I really worked every single day on being positive. And, you know, that was really hard. I was like, it sounds silly, but, like, I just was really negative and pessimistic. And I was always just like, you know, if you said to me, like, the sky is blue, I'd be like, well, but it could be a prettier blue, you know, or, you know, if just every opportunity. And it wasn't really negative about other people. It was really my attitude about myself and the world around me. I will say, this was before I came back into the rooms of recovery. That had a massive change, had a massive, profound effect on me changing as well. But, you know, I think I really realized at some point that whether you're positive or whether you're negative on a daily basis is a choice. And I just didn't want to be negative anymore. I just didn't want to be all doom and gloom, you know. And it was really, to be honest with you, it was affecting me more than it was affecting anybody else. I mean, I was the person that was directly affected by it. And I was the person that it was affecting my life the most, because every day I can just remember just feeling so drained. Like, I just was tired. It takes a lot of energy and effort to be negative, angry, and resentful. Like, you guys know the saying where it's like, it takes 30-some muscles to frown and 1 muscle to smile, or something like that. You guys ever heard that? But, I mean, okay, I don't know how true that is, but because I'm not a scientist and I'm not a doctor, I just don't know. But anyway, but, you know, like, when I would, I'm going to only speak to my experience. When I would spend time being angry about stuff that had happened in my life, or resentful at people in my life because a situation or an opportunity didn't turn out the way that I thought it should, or I felt like somebody screwed me, or they let me down, or they weren't who I thought they were, or you know what I mean? Like, I would spend so much time focusing on that in my head, and it was kind of like I got this attitude that the world was out to sabotage me. Without even really thinking that. Like, if you had asked me, like, do you feel like the world is out to get you? I would have been like, no, that's ridiculous. Like, the world's not out to get me, right? Like, I don't believe that the world is out to get me. But I kind of believed that in my head. Like, somewhere along the way, it was like, well, see, there's another person I can't trust. Oh, there, that happened again. You know what I mean? It was like, all of these things were happening to me that were things that happened to all kinds of people. You know, even just like with my mom passing away, it's like, you know, that was a good example of me being like so angry at like my higher power and being like, you know, why would you take the one person away from me that I'm so close to? Well, that's kind of irrational. Like, let's just be for real, right? Like, people pass away, people die, you know, it's a reality of our world. You know, breakups happen, friends move away, you know, situations don't go the way that we want them to. And I think, like, I don't believe I became a realist, because I think I'm definitely more of an idealist, but I think that I started really waking up to the reality of the world, that Peter, the world's not going to always go the way that you want it to, and that's okay. Like, and that's fine, you know, and maybe you wouldn't. I remember, like, back in the day, I worked with this woman, and she would always say, you know, like, you wouldn't want life, not to me, but, you know, she would say, you wouldn't want life to be fair, because if life were fair, life could mean, like, you know, living in some third world country without having, like, fresh, clean water or food to eat and whatever. And I can remember, like, that's always stuck with me. Like, we don't really know what fair would look like if we were all living underneath this guise of what fair was, you know? Like, what's fair to somebody, you know, is different. So, I don't know, it's like, but then when I really started taking an active role in my own ability to be positive, I don't know, like, and then I realized that every day that I would wake up, if I was negative over just something like, I mean, it was bad, you guys. It was almost like I was looking for things to be negative about, you know, and you want to talk about toxicity, like, being negative all the time affects people in a toxic way. Because if you're around somebody that's negative all the time, then it's going to affect you negatively, and you're going to be negative. And I'm very chameleon-like with that, like with people's moods and attitude, you know, and I have to be very careful to be around people that uplift me and people that are positive, because I can fall into that. If I'm around people that are cynical and pessimistic, I can become cynical, sarcastic, and pessimistic too. And it's not, you know, somebody said something, they commented on one of my drama videos, or they sent me a message, I can't remember, but anyway, and they said, like, on Twitter or something, and they said that they were watching videos from mine from, like, a couple years ago, and that, like, my attitude was so different, and I seemed so much more calm and relaxed. It was such a compliment, you know, because I really do feel calm and relaxed today, you know, in a way that I didn't, before, and was very driven by negativity, anger, and resentment, which did me no good whatsoever. I can't look at my life and say one positive thing that came as a result of me being negative, angry, or resentful. Nothing. I don't see anything positive that came from that, except for the fact that it pushed my husband to a point where he was like, you need to change or else, you know? Which that wasn't the only reason that, like, our marriage was, like, falling apart. I mean, like, he had a part in that too. Like, we both had a part in our marriage not doing well, which, thank God, that led to us getting into marriage counseling, you know, which was probably one of the best things that ever happened to our marriage and my life. But I don't even think Like, I can remember him, I really can sit here and remember the conversation we had when I asked him about the Christmas thing, and he was like, I just want a smile on your face every day for the next year when you wake up. Like, I don't want you to be so negative every day. And he wasn't saying it like, because you're affecting me. Like, he was saying it like he felt sorry for me. You know, like, my husband is somebody that actually, like, he comes across as sarcastic and cynical and all that kind of stuff, but he's actually very, very positive. Alex is positive about, like, so much. Like, whenever I look at a situation, even today, and I'm kind of like, well, like this, or this, and he'll be like, yeah, but, you know, and he always points out the positive. Like, he's so good. Like, he's so, like, and Tanya's the same way, too. So I still struggle with it. I do think probably a little bit of it for me is organic, and it's just, I probably get it. My mother was very much that way. I probably get it a little bit from my mom. But I don't want to be that. But you know, the thing is that I look back on that conversation, and even me thinking like the days after that, I don't think I really realized, shake this out. I don't even think I really realized how truly negative I was. Like, how truly toxic I was to other people around me. Like, I can remember later saying something to Tanya, and I was like, or, you know, within that, like, week of like, well, Alex said I'm negative a lot. Do you think I am? And I can remember her just being silent in the car. And I was like, no, I really want to know. And she was like, yeah, you really are. Like, Peter, you know, for this wonderful life that you have, you're just very, like, bitter and angry all the time. And I know a lot of people like that. You know, I know a lot of people that are just really bitter and miserable, angry people. And I don't know. You know, I don't know. I wish I could tell you the magic formula that works for me. I don't know, but gratitude had a lot to do with it. Me practicing gratitude and really seeing on paper, because it's one thing to say I'm grateful for my life. It's another thing to actually look at the specific things in your life that you're grateful for that you could lose. And, you know, it's like, it's why, like, in recovery, we write down things in inventory, because it's one thing to just know them in your head and say them. It's another thing to actually sit down, write them out, and look at them. That's why I do really believe in the power of writing things down. And, even if it's a prayer or a letter, you know, or whatever, you know. I love the practice of the unsent letter. When you have, like, an issue with somebody, or you want to tell somebody how you feel or whatever, it's like, you know, you can write that out and choose to never send it. You know, you can just write it to yourself and never send it to that person. Or maybe, like, maybe you choose to down the road send it to that person. But sometimes that gets out, like, a lot of our, like, emotions and feelings if we, like, write down letters to, you know, like, it can even be like a pet, you know, that you've lost or something, you know. I don't know that it would be a bad idea for me to write a letter to Pee-Pee and tell him how much I miss him, you know. Like, that might help with my grieving a little bit. But I know it sounds kind of silly, but it's really helped. Writing has helped me in my life, writing stuff down. So I don't know, I just, like, you know, I was very honest with the people around me that I really needed to work on being positive with my sponsor, and, you know, with Alex, I said I was going to make that a commitment. I took the picture of myself smiling and gave it to him to put next to his bed, and I said I was going to, you know, work on it every day, and I did. Like, I really cognitively worked, you know, cognitively, is that the word I'm looking for? Cognizantly. I really was aware on a daily basis that I was working on being positive. And, you know, and I think, like, this is the one thing, like, I shouldn't say we, I should say I. This is one of the things I didn't really, I wasn't aware of at the time, was that on a daily basis, what we allow in is our choice, right? So, like, if you're consumed with taking things in, watching things, reading things that are negative and toxic and caustic, and you're doing all of that, it's like, okay, I saw this interview with RuPaul with Oprah, and she asked him something about, like, scary movies, like horror movies, horror movies, and he said he doesn't watch them anymore. And he said, you know, like, that's very negative for me. I love them. They're not negative for me, I don't think. But he said, you know, he only allows things in that are light. I think there's so much truth to that. You know, it's like if I'm like reading something or whatever and it starts at some point, like I can feel like it's kind of like negatively affecting me, like I'm done at that point. Like a good example of this would be like the Ted Bundy stuff. Like, you know, we read Stranger Beside Me by Anne Rule, and then I started watching those the confession, it's not the confession tapes, I don't know, it was his tapes or whatever on Netflix, and I literally got like 20 minutes into the first one or something like that, or 10 minutes into it, and I was like, I'm done. Like, I'm done reading about Ted Bundy. I don't care. I know everything I need to know about him. I'm done with this. I mean, I love reading the true crime stuff, don't get me wrong, but I was like, I'm done with this. Like, this is, I don't need this anymore. I don't need to know anything more about this person, you know? But that doesn't just have to be about serial killers or horror movies, horror movies. I can't say it sometimes. I mean, that could be about the news, you know? That can be about my neighborhood newsletter, The Scoop. You know, I can read that and something can piss me off. Do you know what I mean? Like, I have to be careful. Like, there are certain days that, like, Tony and I always say this, like, there are some days that, like, I have no business being out and around people. And those are the days that I need to, like, you know, dig into my toolbox and my, you know, bring out all the tools and the skills that I have that I've learned on how to be a better human being on a daily basis, and how to respond and not react, and how to really, like, take a look at things and, like, minimize. You know, I want to take things in catastrophe. Like, Peter at my core is somebody that wants to take things and catastrophize them. I want to be angry. I want to be resentful. I want to point the finger at people. And that has never done me any good in my life. None of that. And so, you know, I've worked so hard on not being that. And I mean, for those of you out there that have never had any of that in your heart, never had any resentment or anger in your heart, like, feel blessed. I do know a few people. I have met a very, very few people in my life. I swear to God, you guys, there was a cooler top over there. I am right by where that cooler thing was, and I just looked over, and I'm not checking it, because after all, I was just talking about. But there was like a cover to a cooler over here. If you guys have watched my vlog for a while, right up here, I'm going to show you where it was. It was right up here. There was a cooler on the side of the road. Do you guys remember? And I so bad wanted to like kick it and see what was inside of it, but I think it was a bunch of snakes probably. But then I was thinking about that head, the severed head. I swear to God, if there's a cooler up here, I'm going to get out and look. But I thought there would be the severed head from that movie, Seven. I think it was Gwyneth Paltrow's head. It was right here by the stop sign. It's not here though. It was right there that night. Do you guys remember that? Right. Ah! But anyway, what was I gonna say? I don't even remember now. No, I've met very few people, that's what I was gonna say. I've met very few people in my life that truly have, like, and maybe they haven't had it all their lives. Oh my God, people have Christmas lights up all over the place. I love this whole neighborhood. They all have their Christmas lights up. Oh my God, I love it. Oh my God, they have their Christmas tree up in their house. People are really decorating early this year. I don't know, maybe that shows that we're starting to have some hope, you know, like everybody's been stuck inside their house for so long and stuff. I think maybe people are starting to, maybe people are just ready for Christmas this year. Anyway, Alex thinks, he's totally allowing it, but he thinks it's foolish that I'm so excited about Christmas so early. I don't know what it is about why I'm so excited about Christmas early. But anyway, I've met a few people in my life that just are so naturally calm and serene and not angry, and they're always hopeful and always peaceful. But I can't say that that's my experience with myself. That has not been me in my life, you know? But I don't know, like I've learned a lot from the work that I've done. That guy was like, I am not waiting anymore. He was at that stoplight, and he like turned, and then he like went over there, and then he like went down the street. That's how he got around though. Okay. But anyway, the emotional roller coaster that goes along with all of that, I was talking about that on here the other night. If you can bear with me to talk about my higher power stuff for a second, you know, for those of you that don't believe, I apologize. Do you? And I mean that honestly. Like, I mean, I think it's such a personal choice, you know. But like, I was talking in my Peterisms video today about, I called it shut your mouth, because when a thing that I've been told a lot in sobriety is the idea of shutting my mouth and opening my ears. And that's not pertaining to my higher power, although I feel like it is. Sometimes that's pertaining to just if you're in a meeting, shutting your mouth and listening. Like maybe as a newcomer, you don't have a lot to share, right? Like you need to listen to what people are saying instead of telling everybody what they, you know, like maybe just listen. And I was told that a lot when I first got sober. Probably for my first year or two, I was told to shut my mouth and open my ears a lot by my sponsor, my second sponsor. So, but I was talking about it in regards to like higher power, you know, and I've really learned, that's why I like silence and driving around a lot with like not listening to an audiobook and more music and just silence, is that like I'll talk a lot to myself in my head, and maybe I feel like I'm kind of talking to my higher power a lot. And there's like, to me, there's a lot that comes along with just listening, you know. And I was talking about the book Conversations with God, and I don't think I've ever finished the book, but my mom she has them all three. I think maybe I bought one of them for her, I don't know, bought one of them for her more, I don't know, but I feel like I started reading them and I didn't finish them. But you know, when I think about having a conversation with my higher power, I think a lot about like just listening is a huge part of having a conversation with somebody or communicating with somebody, right? And so I think a lot about like the need to just listen. And I've really tried in the last couple years to just listen. Like, okay, what is your higher power saying to you? You know, like, and I think like I really truly believe this. I don't think that my higher power wants me to be angry, resentful, pissed off, or miserable. I just don't believe that. How can I appreciate the life that I've been given? How can I appreciate all the things that I have in this world if there's blockage by anger, misery, if there's blockage by drugs and alcohol, first of all, right? Like I'm missing out on all of like, you know, it's interesting because like Tanya and I were talking about that, like the longer you've been sober and kind of like maybe like the more spiritual you get, the narrower the road becomes. And it's like, it doesn't seem like this big complicated thing anymore, right? But it's like also the other thing that's happened is I've really learned to like just appreciate the small things in the world. Like the small things are what like just watching the Brunch today, or being with my dogs, or my husband upstairs laying in bed. You know, it's just like the small things like make me so happy. The big things make me happy too, don't get me wrong. Like I like nice things, I always say that, you know. But the small things, I don't know. There was a while where I feel like I was missing out on so much of the world, you know, so much of life. And drugs and alcohol really were blockage in the way for me appreciating that. And anger, resentment, and misery were also a way of me, like, were blocking myself, you know? And I can remember thinking to myself, like, but if you had my life, you know, you'd be angry too. Or if you had my life, you'd use too, right? And it's like when you look at the world and you see that there are some people out there that have had some truly, I mean, there at any given time are millions of people that have it 10 times worse and 100 times worse than you do, right? Whatever your situation is. And I know that's like that's a hard thing to hear. Like that's a hard pill to swallow. But that's the truth. That whatever we're going through in our lives, there's always people out there that have it a lot worse than us, right? And that's where the action of gratitude comes in, the attitude of gratitude comes in for me, you know, is like in those moments, those are the hardest moments. You know, my friend that died of breast cancer last year, I think of her often because she never BS'd about the situation that she was in, you know? Like, I mean, when she got diagnosed with breast cancer, she got diagnosed with stage 4 breast cancer. I mean, she knew how bad it was. And she was, you know, she was a survivor for many years. And, you know, I can remember when I saw her and she had a double mastectomy, and she was kind of like, because she had it, like, she was big breasted before, you know, and I was like looking at her t-shirt, and she said, yep, they're gone, you know, and I had talked to her, but I didn't, you know that, like, she had, like, I hadn't seen her in like a couple months, and so I didn't know that. And she's like, and I'm not getting them back either. She's like, my husband's okay with them, and I'm fine with them too being gone. And, you know, her attitude was always just so optimistic and cheerful. She had moments that were really a struggle for her. You know, I can remember talking to her and she'd just say, I'm not full of hope right now, you know, like, and I'm pissed and I'm angry. But her anger was never misguided, and at least when I saw it. And she was somebody to me that, like, she looked at what was handed to her, but then she was able to look at the opposition of beauty with it as well. And I just, like, that is so inspirational to me. Like, in the midst of everything that she was going through, she could see, like, the beauty of everything in her life, you know? And I'm just like, I don't know. She was one of the most inspirational people I've ever known in my entire life. Like, I would ask her about, like, how new medical treatments and things were going. She wouldn't say, oh, it's going fantastic. I mean, unless it was going fantastic. She wouldn't say, oh, it's going fantastic, it's so great. I mean, she would say, oh, I'm over it, and I don't feel like the doctors know what they're doing, you know? She'd say, but, I mean, you know, we're going scuba diving next week. Things could be worse, you know? I mean, that's how she would say, you know? I mean, she just was, I don't know, like, she was just very real. You talk about authentic. I mean, like, that's the epitome of authenticity. And she's somebody I aspire to be like. And, you know, never stopped, even in all of those, like, 5 or 7, I think it was 7 years she had breast cancer from the point of her diagnosis to when she passed away. Never once stopped giving to other people, doing for other people. I mean, she was one of the most charitable people I've ever met in my life. Never stopped that. That never stopped, you know? And just such a really neat woman. And I have been blessed in my life to know a lot of people like that. Like angels literally living here on earth. And how cool is that? You know what I mean? My leg is itching, I don't know why. And I don't know much, but I know I love you. Oh, I never called Ballerini back. Well, I'm gonna get off here in just, oh, my battery is like halfway anyway. I'll probably get off here in just a couple minutes because I'm at, where am I at? Oh, 28 minutes. I know, and then I vlogged before. I don't remember what I vlogged, how long I vlogged for before, but I'm gonna listen to my audiobook on the way home, and then I'm going to, well, I'm gonna call Ballerini, and then listen to my audiobook, and then I'm gonna, I don't know, watch something at home and eat my egg salad sandwich, which I'm really excited about. Oh my God, Cafe Patachou has the best egg salad sandwich. There's one waiter there that works there. He's like kind of friendly. He's like a friend of ours. He's really nice. And he, like, I don't know, it was like a month and a half ago. It was when I was watching Big Brother, because I started bringing him home and then I would eat him with the Sunday night Big Brother. Do we even talk about Big Brother, the finale? And Tony and I the other night. Oh, Bing Crosby, White Christmas. I said, Tony, we didn't even talk about the finale of Big Brother. She goes, what do you want to talk about? And so we were talking about people on Big Brother. Anyway, Tanya was like, we should do, oh, did I talk about this? A podcast of the Real Housewives? Because like every person, like if she likes somebody on Big Brother, I don't. And if she likes somebody on the Real Housewives, I don't. Like who she likes and who I like are two completely different people. Although we both agree that we like Emily and Gina on the Real Housewives of Orange County. I like Emily a lot. She's like my favorite. Alex was like, we were watching it the other night, he's like, I think that Emily is so sexy. He's like, I love how confident she is and she carries herself, and she's kind of like, I mean, she's not super plus size, but she's a little plus size. She is like sexy, and she's very confident, and I just love her. I love Emily on the show. And I like Gina too. I mean, who else is on the show this season? Tamara's not on the show anymore. It feels so weird with like Tamara's not there, Vicky's not there. Who else is on the show? Shannon, she's like probably the OG of it now. Kelly. Who else is on the show? It stopped and I was saying something so stupid I was laughing. I was like going through my head trying to think of the Real Housewives of Orange County, and I was like, now who are, okay, I was like, okay, there's Shannon, and then there's Kelly, and then I was like, who's that new one that's getting a divorce from the billionaire? I was like, oh, she looks like a Jamie. We'll call her Jamie. I don't know what. I must know somebody that looks like her that's called Jamie. But anyway. I don't know much, but I know I love you. Yeah, but Tanya was saying that. Oh, look, they post on this hospital sign, Riverview Health Hospital. They post like when somebody has a baby, they put it's a boy, and then they say his name and the date and how much he weighed. And that's sweet. And it's a girl. And oh, I like that. That's sweet. You guys are probably like, yeah, Peter, every hospital does that. Do they? I didn't know. Anyway. I'm out of this lip gloss. It's gone, you guys. I need to get another one. I have like 4 of them up in my house. They're just pulling out. I love lip gloss. Lip gloss makes the world okay. That's what I'm going to title this video. Lip gloss makes the world okay. Man, there's all kinds of people walking around Noblesville Square tonight. They're all probably down at Sid's. Sid's is this bar right down there. Years ago, I made friends with this girl when I came back into the rooms, and we were like gonna go eat lunch one day or something. I mean, at that time I was like, 15 years sober or something like that, and she was like probably, I don't know, 90 days sober or something. And so we were trying to figure out a place to go eat, and supposedly Sid's has like the best tenderloins in the entire world. And so this was before I was a vegetarian, and so we were talking about it. I don't know why this cracks me up still to this day. Like whenever I talk, Tanya and I talk about it. I haven't seen her in forever, but whenever Tanya and I talk about this girl, this woman, I always say this line because it cracks me up. So I remember we were like in the car, and she was like dead serious, and she was like, are you spiritually fit enough to go to Sid's? And how? I was like, what? And she was, I didn't even get it. And she was like, are you spiritually fit enough to go to Sid's? Because it's a bar. And I was like, yeah. I mean, I'm fine to go sit in a bar to eat a meal, We're told that if we have a reason to be there, they're just, that we will recoil like from a hot flame. Hand away from a hot flame. But I don't think we did go to Sid's that day. I don't know that I've actually, have I ever been to, I think I've been there a couple times. It's been a long time. We used to go to this place down here before our meetings or after our meetings, and it was called El Camino, and it's this little Mexican restaurant right down here. Oh my God, it was some of the best Mexican restaurant in the entire world. They had, it was always so cheap too, like our meals each were like under $10. You get a big burrito and chips and really cheap salsa that like it was almost kind of the consistency of that Catalina dressing. Do y'all know what I'm talking about? I cannot believe, when I was a little kid, my mom all I would eat for salad, because she would make me have a salad every night, you know. Do you remember that? Like when your parents would make you have a salad and all this kind of stuff? There's something going on up here. I can see like lights coming from both ways. Anyway, my mom, is it coming from both ways or is it going that way? No, it's just going that way. She'd always, I can't remember what I called it. I didn't call it Catalina. I called it something else. But you guys know that Catalina, that red dressing. That's like the only dressing I would eat when I was a kid. And my mom, like, she'd say Gag-a-mag-it because she thought it was disgusting. But anyway, I can't remember what I called it. I didn't call it Catalina. Is it called something else? Is it called something else and I called it Catalina? I don't remember. I called it something. I didn't, and it wasn't like red dressing. I didn't call it like red dressing, but the salsa at El Camino is about the consistency of that Catalina dressing. Probably just as good too, which is why I like it, but I don't know. Well, all right, listen, I'm getting off here now for the love of Valerie. I'm gonna call her. For the love of Valerini, I'm gonna call her and I'm gonna get off here and go home and eat my egg salad sandwich. Oh my God, look at that. They have, is that Christmas lights? No, they just have a lot of neon, pink neon in their house. Or just in one room, I guess. But anyway, I hope you guys are having as an amazing Sunday as I am having, or now you're having your it's Monday for you. I hope you're having an amazing start to your week. And remember, you can start your day over whenever you want. Most importantly, let somebody know how much they mean to you. If nobody else has told you this today, I love you. Look in the mirror every single day and tell yourself, I love you, and at least one positive affirmation, like you are worthy to be loved, you are worthy of love, and you are valuable. And also, like I always say, practice random acts of kindness, but also, like I always say, don't tell anyone. Just do it to put some goodness, kindness, compassion, love, and care out there in the world. Like it says in the 4 agreements, always lead with love. I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching. If you like this vlog video, please give it a big thumbs up in the comment section below. And if you are subscribed, make sure that you're still subscribed. And if you haven't subscribed, please think about joining the OG Wolf Pack over here. That's all of us just trying to get through life one day at a time. And through kindness, caring, compassion, love, and healing, and understanding. And did I already say that? Understanding? And tolerance, even though I don't love that word, but sometimes, you know, love and tolerance. So anyway, I love you guys so much, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye! Love ya! Oh, and I actually forgot. I just went straight this way and around, but I was gonna drive and go back around the way that I came, and then I was gonna drive through that neighborhood and look at Christmas lights. So don't let me forget. I'm gonna drive around and show you guys Christmas lights. Christmas lights in November before Thanksgiving. Can you even imagine? Anyway, I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Maybe for Christmas lights, but if not tomorrow, maybe, well, one of these nights. I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Love ya!